Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Starry Tarot. Good to see you. If you are new here, welcome, and thank you for your subscription. If you are returning, welcome back, and it is fantastic to see you. My name is Sophie. If you are new here, I am your friendly tarot reader for this evening, for the day, the afternoon, wherever you are in the world. All of my donation information can be found pinned at the top of the chat, also throughout the body, throughout the chat as well, from my dutiful AI Nightbot, AI moderator Nightbot. In addition to the information posted for the live stream. I can answer any of your questions with the exception of medical and or legal questions. And my menu of general questions, and when I say general questions, I mean whatever is on your mind. For a mini reading, it is one question, 5 cards, and that is $7.77. Unless you use SuperChat, in which it is $9.99. If you would like a full reading, which is 10 cards, and that can be one question, or we can split it into two 5-card questions. That is $14.14 over Venmo, PayPal, or Cashapp. If you use SuperChat, it is $21.21. And if you are interested in an in-depth sometimes I call it my in-depth reading, sometimes I call it my expanded reading. It's both. 15 cards, that is $21.21 over PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App, or $29.29 over SuperChat, and that is 15 cards. It can be one question. It can be split into two, one 10-card question, one 5-card question, or it can be split into 3 5-card questions. It is entirely up to you. I answer all sorts of questions. Really, they truly run the gamut. I answer a lot of romance questions, a lot of career questions, finance questions, friendship, spirituality. So I am here for you. I also have a menu of other specified readings for your inquisitive pleasure. As I mentioned, I answer a lot of romantic questions, a lot of queries that are related to matters of the heart. And for that, I highly recommend my soulmate confirmation reading. I think that's pretty self-explanatory, but I'll explain how it works. First of all, it can be asked in one of two different ways. The first option is we directly ask your spirit guides, your angels, your messengers, your ancestral spirits, if the person who you are curious about in your life is indeed a soulmate of yours or not, and if the answer is yes, they will explain why and in what context. If the answer is no, they will also explain why not and in what context that is. Alternatively, we can also ask your spirit guides if they give their blessing towards the person who is in question in your life. And if you get their blessing, it's certain that they are indeed a soulmate. Our spirit guides only want the best for us, and if they give their blessing towards someone in our lives, that is someone who is meant to be in our lives and should definitely not be taken lightly. It is truly a blessing when you get Spirit's blessing. I also am a psychic medium. I can communicate with those who have passed on. If that is something that you are interested in, please let me know before sending your donation. I've done two mediumship readings this past week, but there was one mediumship reading in which I was not able to get in touch with the person who they were trying to get in touch with. which was really perplexing because it was the first time because I had gotten into contact with that person before in the past, but I couldn't, for whatever reason, they just weren't coming through. So that happens, but it only happens about 5% of the time. Majority of the time I can communicate with those who have passed on, but there are reasons why someone may not be able to communicate with me if they've reincarnated, if they are doing spiritual work that they are currently occupied with, or if they are not capable of communicating with the other side, in which the former case I was just explaining that wouldn't apply. But so majority of the time I can get in touch with the person who has passed. But I am prefacing this because I don't want to disappoint. I hope I didn't disappoint my beloved client the other night. She said everything was kosher. But I do just please ask that before you send your donation, if you are interested in a mediumship reading, before you send your donation, please let me know their name, their date of birth, their date of passing, their relation to you, and if possible, a photograph. If you could email me a photograph, that is additionally very, very helpful, but it's not required. But the more information I can get about the person who I am trying to get into contact with, it's much easier, and there's a lot more clarity. The channels of communication become a lot clearer. So that is a service that I indeed offer. I also do past life regression readings. I've been studying past life regression therapy since I was a child. I've read numerous books on past life regression therapy and its benefits and its modalities. I have been regressed. I have regressed others. And it's endlessly fascinating and very, very therapeutic. It can explain so much about things that are unknown within our soul's tapestry. Irrational fears that are inexplainable. Strong desires towards things that you didn't have familiarity with in the past. We can ask Spirit to illustrate the past life with any intention. It doesn't just have to be as posted there. It doesn't have to be just the past life that can help you navigate this life right now. That is a great intent. That is a great past life to illustrate. But I also recommend, I have clients who have done multiple past life readings, and one of the most fascinating ones is asking Spirit to illustrate a past life of yours, or the past life of yours that was the most challenging, the most difficult. If you need a boost in gratitude or appreciation in your life, that is always a really good one. If you are simply curious, it's always fascinating to ask what your most successful, fortunate, easiest past life was, which is almost always one's favorite past life, but not always. And then we can always ask what one's favorite past life was. That's another one that's always fascinating. Yasuo Cat. Hello, welcome. Thank you so much. I have a feeling that, I don't know if you're new to my channel or not, but I have a feeling that you're not. And I have a feeling that your username, because YouTube changed things around, the usernames that I used to see are now different. It's now your @ username. So I've had a lot of clients that I haven't seen in maybe a few months or so, because YouTube implemented this like maybe 3 months ago. I've had some returning clients come back and say, wait, you don't remember me? So I don't recognize your name at this time, but if you are returning here, I will likely recognize it if you let me know. But thank you so much. I look forward to reading for you. So as I mentioned earlier, I answer a lot of questions pertaining to matters of the heart. I have a few accounts, so I have gotten a reading. Okay. Oh, okay. So you remember getting a reading from me before? Awesome. Awesome. Very cool. Yes, my TFI spread. I invented it. I came up with it. I've been doing it for years. I highly recommend that if someone has a romantic question or a question that is a matter of romance, amorous feelings. It answers 3 questions in one. Hey, Scylla, thank you so much for your donation, girl. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How you doing? And by the way, today we are using the Fortune Queens Tarot Deck Volume 2. For those of you who love drag or RuPaul's Drag Race, you'll love this. Is Cashapp $7.77 and for yes for if you donate via Cashapp it is $7.77 and this is my Cashapp here. Thank you very much. I'm good. I just had the most intense call with W. Oh wow, wow. I'm doing good. I'm doing well. I'm doing good. I just did my hair. Just got out of the shower. I'm loving my hair. Had work earlier. Was really, really tired this morning, I will say, but I'm not tired anymore. Thank God, otherwise I wouldn't be on. But I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. How can what is your question tonight, love? How can I help you? Wilson, do you have witchcraft or voodoo dolls? Okay, well, witchcraft is not something that you can actually like have. Witchcraft is actually a verb. I guess it could be a noun. Well, I guess it could be a noun, but it's not something that you can own. And do I have voodoo dolls? No, I don't. I don't practice voodoo. I'm Jewish. I'm Kabbalic. I'm not voodoo. It is your turn, Miss Scylla. Aw, thank you, love. So clean, so pristine. Oh, thank you, hun. Have you ever been to Ito Salon in the city, in the Haight? That is hands down my favorite salon. I love that salon. I've been going there for years. Okay, now all of a sudden my chats aren't showing up on my phone. What's going on here? Because we just received a donation. Thank you so much for your donation, April. Thank you, thank you. Let me go ahead and add you here. Oh yes, I totally recommend Ito 100%. They have the best stylists. They always they're well trained. Go to the best schools. I've never ever been pointed. I want to get my hair colored there. I'm wanting to go navy. I want to do dark navy hair so that it doesn't look navy all the time. Like, I don't want it to be like blue, but like when I'm in the sun, I want people to be like, oh, she's got navy hair. Kind of like Sailor Mercury. During the call, why did W go intention wise? I don't even think I'm your type. Bro, all flustered. And then I laughed and said, why do you even care if I'm your type? I will check it out when I'm in the Bay. Yeah, for sure. Okay. So during the call, W said, why did you go? Oh no, during the call, why did W go intention wise? I don't even think I'm your type. Okay, so you want to know why he asked that question. No problem. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why did W ask Scylla, or question Scylla, whether he was her type? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why did W question Scylla whether he was her type? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why did W question Scylla whether he was her type? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why did W question Scylla as to whether he was her type? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why did W ask Scylla whether he was her type? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why was W questioning Scylla if he was even her type? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why did W question Scylla, asking whether she was his type, or he was her type? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why did W question Scylla regarding whether he was her type? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why did W question Scylla regarding whether he was her type? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why did W question Scylla regarding whether he was her type? These cards are so big. Oh my god. Okay. Eight of Swords reversed. The Hierophant reversed. Nine of Cups reversed. Nine of Pentacles. And Five of Pentacles. Interesting. Sorry, give me one sec here. I need to grab something. And it was in my pocket. Okay. Oh, Edo. It's EDO. The Bible says that people squid not mess with witchcraft and fortune teller and palm reading or any other things like that. That's awesome, Wilson. I had no idea. Wilson, wow. Have you heard that, Scylla? That the Bible says that people shouldn't mess with witchcraft? I've never heard that before. Wilson, you're hilarious. I'm Jewish, bro. I don't follow the Bible, I follow the Torah. And there's nothing against witchcraft in the Torah. My rabbi has fully, it's not even an issue. Bro, get out of here. Get a life. Oh, he's out of here. No, he's gone. Get a life, man. Have friends. Find community. Go to church. Go to church. Have fun. Yeah, no, those folks they give Christians a bad name. Sorry, Wilson, if you're still listening to this, you're the type of person who gives Christians a bad name and makes me question a lot of Christianity. Anyway, there are so many good Christians in the world, and you're giving them a bad name. Don't do it. Seriously, seek help. Seek help. All right, love. So, I am definitely going to need some clarity on this. This guy is just, I don't want to say he's cagey, but he's definitely, he's definitely got a trajectory. A trajectory is I think the term that I should be using. What's going on here? Okay. Not man hating on a pretty woman on her street, and he was saying things like that. I don't know. I'm even your type, bro. And I said, why are you worried if you're my type? No, I totally get what you're saying to me, and I'm just trying to figure out why he said that. If it was he's insecure, or if he was trying to tell you he likes you, or if he's genuinely feeling like wondering if you are his type. Let's start with this Eight of Swords reversed. Okay, I'm so glad I have my handy, because these were all confusing me in regards to love in this situation. Eight of Swords reversed, gaining a clearer perspective in a connection. This is still the early stages, love. These are still, you guys are still getting to know one another, and as I mentioned earlier, or in other readings, I should say, he wants to get to know you better. That not well, of course he wants to get to know you better, but he's cautiously sussing you out, trying to make sure that you are the real deal, because what he sees so far, he really likes. Sorry, I had to grab my glasses. Because I came on him drunk, and I said I wouldn't do that sober. He told me the story of what I did. Oh, okay. But that, I mean, and I'm sure you don't have to answer me, Scylla, but I'm sure you were telling the truth, that you wouldn't have, like, I don't know what you mean by came on him drunk, but like maybe flirting with him or whatever. And then you saying that you wouldn't have done that sober. I think what you were trying to say is like, I don't throw myself at people. You know what I mean? I think that's what you were probably trying to convey to him, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So, and then also this Hierophant reversed, I feel is very, this Hierophant reverse feels very similar to this Eight of Swords reverse, but of course I still want a little bit of clarity here. Yeah, he's trying to make sure that it was a genuine question. And then he said that, I don't even think I'm your type, bro. He said, he called you bro. I hate it when guys call me bro. If I unless they're a platonic friend, then they're bro, man. I can be bro, man, dude, whatever. But if I like a guy and he calls me bro, man, or dude, like, I really don't like it. I've even clocked guys I've dated, like, they'll accidentally be like, dude. I'll be like, hey, I'm not a dude. I'm your girl. Exactly. It's early stages, and it's how you guys communicate right now. He thinks I don't like him insecurely, I feel, though. I think that's part of it, but I think it's his own insecurities. He's wanting to make sure, for damn sure, he wants to be damn sure that that he is your type. That he is the type of person who you would want to be with, that you not only do your values align, but he checks your boxes. And the Hierophant is also a card of discovery, of learning. And that's what we're in the process, or that's what he's in the process of doing. What you guys are both in the process of doing right now. You're in the courtship stages. You laughed at the question. I think that was the best response. You didn't answer, right? I would have just laughed. Leave. I mean, I don't like keeping people like in the dark, and he certainly doesn't like being left in the dark with all those moon cards that always come up. He wants to be, but there's also that, flirtatious mystique that you want to maintain at the early stages too. I just asked, why are you worried? Oh, okay, got you. Yeah. And he goes, I'm not worried. Of course he said he wasn't worried. Yeah, 9 of Cups reverse. Again, he wants to ensure that, and I'm going to use the art like just on these cards. He wants to make sure that he's the type of cookie that you want to bite into. She's eating these cookies here, and she's got her glasses of milk. He wants to make sure that the type of cookie that you like to eat is his flavor. And oh, girl, I am really reticent to say this because I'm just like overtly PC. So absolutely not a racist statement at all, but it is about race. You mentioned that he's, did you tell me that he's East Asian or he's Korean? I believe you said. Now, the East Asian men who I've known in my life and have dated and flirted with or had crushes on, whatever, they had crushes on me, hotties. He is Asian. Okay, he's Taiwanese. Okay, ooh, yeah, Taiwan. Japanese guys are so fine. I love Japanese guys. Like, I think they're so fine. Taiwanese guys too. Those are like, yeah. Anyway, so, but yeah, no. The Asian guys that I've met, the regulation hottie Asian guys are still insecure about, would a white girl like me, or would a girl outside of my race like me? This is a fact. This is an actual statistic that I read. It's really sad, actually. And don't tell him this, please, but Asian guys, and there's another demographic, and I'm not going to mention it because it's really sad too, but Asian men are the least clicked on, the least swiped right and searched for on dating apps. Don't know why, but it's just something that I read from a reputable source, like a news source. I'm mostly Asian, European, and I'm part Chinese. We're similar. Okay, yeah, you're mostly similar. So, wow, you're so exotically beautiful. You've got like everything, beauty from all places. But I do think that's part of his insecurity, honey. It might not be, but it's something to consider. It's something that I've noticed with like fine ass Asian dudes. Like every single one. I'm thinking of six. I'm 6 off the top of my head right now. Hot dudes. 2 of them have girlfriends outside their race. And even I remember them telling me, like, they, felt that was something that made them nervous. So he's insecure. I think that I don't think that's the only thing that's making him insecure. I think that's part of it, though. Insecurities are, they're a mishmash of multiple things. But I think that's part of it. And especially, you know, if you do grow up as a minority, it's, I think that that is kind of standard for, I'm not speaking for every single minority, but I think it's a very common cultural thing. Him being insecure about that is so real. I understand because of the BS they get. Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm talking about, the BS they get. Yeah. They like, and which I don't understand. It's like hard work, like, and I'm not putting people into a box here, but culturally, by and large, if we want to stereotype, hella hard workers, so well educated, majority of surgeons, doctors, attorneys, like professors, Asian. Like, they really value education and hard work and being wise with finances. And personally, I think that's very, very sexy. But there are, yeah, there's BS, and I won't even get into it, but I think we can kind of read each other's minds there. The BS that they get, that's not nice. Here we go. This Nine of Pentacles. Look at her boobies. They're fake. I mean, these are drag. These are drag queens, girl. These are my RuPaul cards. This Nine of Pentacles. He wants to grow because he wants something to grow with you. He wants something to grow with you, but he's still making sure that he wants. He's still making sure. He still wants to make sure that you're genuinely into him, as he's genuinely into you. He's very sexy, and he was shocked. He said, "That girl, I don't understand why he would say that." Yeah, I'm not shocked because when I've been reading for him, it always comes out as so many insecurity cards come out all the time for him. So I know him through the cards and you, but I don't speak to him directly. And I think I've even said, like, I think the first time I told you that he deals with insecurity, I think I prefaced it with, "You'll probably be shocked to hear this because I have every reason to believe that he acts super confidently, but he's super immature. Or not immature. He's super insecure. He's got a lot of insecurities, and oftentimes the most insecure people, you know, make up for that by going, you know." I can't say what I'm about to say, but going full throttle into, you know, like faking it until you make it. Like, I don't want to say pretending that he's secure, but yeah, kind of pretend. Yeah, putting on and I'm not saying he has no faith in himself and doesn't feel secure in himself at all. Nay, no, he does like himself, and he does have pride in what he does, and he does have securities, but he does have insecurities, as we all do. But his insecurities are predominantly lie in the realm of romance and desire. Bingo. Girl, we do this all the time. Before I looked up, I was about to say insecurity, not even like, doesn't even come into question when it comes to money, business, work. Exactly. Yeah. But he's confident in his work and his music, and that's why he's inviting you. That's why he's initiated these not dates, but your guys' meetings are all within the studio work. That's the space where he feels most secure, most confident. There's no doubt in his mind that he's good at what he does and he's successful, but he does have insecurities when it comes to matters of the heart. A guy who feels secure would not be on the phone with a young, beautiful woman who he's interested in and say, "Yeah, babe, yeah, okay, yeah, babe. Hey, did you hear that? I'm talking to a girl." Like, that is the most, like, that's something that, like, a 14-year-old would do, right? Like, that is so, like, and 14-year-olds are insecure. An insecure person would do that. Not a secure man who knows where he stands, in terms of affections with people, wouldn't do that. Yeah, this Five of Pentacles, he's feeling not distant from you, but he's wanting to get closer to you, and in getting closer to you, he has to feel confident and secure that you really are interested in him, and he doesn't want to be in this Five of Pentacles energy of yearning for you and not having you actually like not actually like being with you or initiating, you know, the next step. But he wants to make sure that he's your type. He wants to make sure that you really are who you portray yourself to be, which you are. I mean, if I got to talk to him, I'd be able to tell him that. He wants to come in from outside the cold, love. So did he say this to check if I liked him as well? Like checking to see if I would admit if I did think he was my type? 100%. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And is he playing games here? No, I wouldn't call that game playing. I'd call it being strategic about asking a question that can be maybe embarrassing for one to ask, and a loaded question too, one that's easy to answer. Like, your answer is yes, hell yeah, you're my type, but you didn't answer him because it's hard. You don't want to, you know, just throw all your cards on the table at once, you know. You stayed on the phone for an hour. Yeah, girl. Yeah, he's trying to suss out. He's trying to suss out if this is if this is if you should go forward, and soon. He's not dragging his feet here. You're very welcome, love. Okay, sure. Yeah. You can donate again. No problem. No problem. It depends, love. It depends. I'm, as you know, I'm a lot older than you. I don't like wasting time because I don't have as much of it anymore. I'm not saying you're wasting time, but I'm less afraid of a negative, of like, well, yeah, I would have said, yeah, you're my type. Let's get this going. But if I was in my 20s, I would have done exactly what you did. I would have been likely to nervous to fully admit. I'm trying to work with him, but I didn't admit it because we're working together. Yeah, that there's also that. Yeah, you guys also have a professional relationship too, so that's also something to consider. I still. Oh wait, no, never. I'm joking. I just received your donation. Thank you, love. Thank you so much, April. April, it's not your turn yet. We're still on Scylla. For each turn, everybody gets up to 20 cards per turn. She donated for 10 cards. How did he feel when almost started crying on call when he said I was on demon time and I fought for my character, saying a good effing woman. It was a mistake. I care about you guys. Okay, I'm gonna start crying. Okay. And I think he said sorry instead of not judging you. Obviously said you're judging me off one session. That's crazy. Okay. Okay. I hear you. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. How did W feel when Scylla almost started crying on the phone with him when he was judging the character? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. How did W feel when Scylla almost started crying on the phone when he was assessing her character? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. How did W feel when Scylla almost started crying on the phone when he judged her character? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. How did W feel when Scylla almost started crying on the phone when he judged her character? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. How did W feel when Scylla almost started crying on the phone when he prejudged her character? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. How did W feel when Scylla almost started crying on the phone after he prejudged her character? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. How did W feel when Scylla almost started crying after he prejudged her character? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. How did W feel when Scylla almost started crying on the phone when he judged her character? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. How did W feel when Scylla almost started crying on the phone after he prejudged her character? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. How did W feel when Scylla almost started crying on the phone after he prejudged her character? He was giving you tough love. Possibly. It was based on one. But what you said was key there, girl. It was based on one session. We have Queen of Wands, the Chariot, Death, Eight of Pentacles reversed, and the Moon reversed. Holy moly guacamole. Okay. We've definitely got a good thing here. But we've also got something that you might not be too thrilled about. How did he feel? He felt badly because he could sense your sincerity through the tone of your voice. That's the importance of being of hearing one's voice and talking on the phone. Is you can hear the intonations, you can hear the one's cadence. You can hear if someone's starting to choking up. It affected him, and it made him. It brought him to So the Moon reversed was my card 2 days ago, and this has been coming up a lot in W's readings. So I studied the hell out of this card, girl. And you know how I always said the Moon reversed is often just like doubled down in its reverse position. It's almost identical to the first, to its upright position, just doubled down. Nay. I did some more research. Even though I've been reading tarot for 25 years, I will never stop learning. I will never stop educating myself. So the Moon reversed is clarity, is often a sign of clarity, where once there was mystery and something that was unknown or questioned has now come to light, has now come to the surface. And he believes you. He believes that you're a good effing woman. He really does. And oh, thank you, love. And I have no shame in busting out my book. I think other readers should do it as well if they've got multiple books. There's always so many different contexts to these cards, depending on the situation. But this beautiful Queen of Wands, that was a really transformative conversation last night, Scylla. It most definitely strengthened his desire and attraction and draw towards you. And he sees you as a queen. He sees you as a good woman. He heard you. Your reaction was not one of someone who behaves like a bad person, unless they were crocodile tears, which they clearly weren't. I was definitely being feisty and emotional on call this morning. Was the call this morning when he was saying that you were on demon time? During that moment when he said, I almost cried, girl, when he said, I thought you were chill, but your demonic side came out when I blacked out at the studio. I started crying almost. It was a mistake. Yeah, and he heard that. And he wants to continue moving forward with you. It was this morning. Okay. So he wants to continue. He hears you loud and clear. And it was like, whoa, like he definitely had a moment where he was like, I probably should not have said that. And he definitely felt badly for saying that. I think he even realized, like, okay, it was one time, like, on one hand, he felt badly for saying it because it elicited that emotional response in you, which he doesn't want you to cry. But on the other hand, he was also happy for saying what he did, or not happy, but like grateful that he said what he did, because it brought him to this place of clarity. He sees that you really are a good woman, and that's not you're not a girl who gets blackout drunk every day. Honestly, love, I'm gonna wager that you got drunk because you were nervous. You were in an unfamiliar environment with someone who you're interested in, and you wanted to take the edge off. And sometimes we keep on going. Once the edge has been taken off, we still take off that edge, and then the edge comes back. And it's a mistake, and it happens, and you didn't do it intentionally. I told him I was nervous and it was noon. You literally told, yep, yeah. And you didn't eat. Okay, bingo. Yeah. So you had shoots that morning. Gotcha. Okay. You don't eat before shoots? Oh my god, I have to eat before a shoot. Girl, I had a shoot on Friday, and I was so hungry. And I'd still eaten too, but I was still so hungry. I don't know. That's so funny. I said I didn't know. Then I wasn't fully comfortable at first. Yeah. Too many things stacked that day. Well, there's good news here, girl. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. This is all good news. Oh, thank you, love. Thank you. Yeah, I actually haven't even seen the photos from the shoot I did on Friday, but the photographer emailed them to me yesterday, so I'm going to go through them tonight and probably post one on my Instagram. Hopefully it was a great shoot. He's a good photographer. We've worked together multiple times. This Chariot card, he wants to continue moving forward with you. This was an absolutely transformative conversation, as I mentioned. As I said earlier, on one hand, he felt badly for asking or for saying what he said to you, but then on the other hand, he was like, okay, well, I did elicit that emotional response in her, but it also brought me to the clarity that I needed. He liked my feistiness. Like, damn. Yes, because it was very it exemplified your honesty. Unless you're an Academy Award winning actress, which, no offense, you're not. I know you're not, just because I know you're not. You would have told me if you were an actress and you won an Academy Award. I don't know if you are an actress. Maybe you are. Maybe you do acting and you are good. But that's not what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is, like, it would take like an Academy Award winning actress, I think, to put on to like have crocodile tears. Like, he knew you were sincere. Queen of Wands, he still sees me as a call. What do you mean as a call? No, he doesn't see you. He still sees you as, he sees you even stronger now. His desire for you is even stronger because he has more clarity. And yes, he sees you as a queen. Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, he does. He does. But here's the tea, girl. This was the one thing I was like, okay, we've got good news, but we have something that might disappoint you. I don't. Have you guys scheduled another studio session? Even after getting blacked out? Damn. Well, no, that's the thing. Have you guys scheduled another studio session? Because I don't think I 8 of Pentacles is steady work. 8 of Pentacles reversed is no work involved. And that's not telling me that he doesn't want to put work into this connection. That's telling me that he wants to not just separate this work personal connection, but I think he might want to stop working together for 2 reasons. It resulted in the blackout. It was to work. We're trying to schedule one workout rates. Oh, to work out the next session and the rate. Okay. Yeah, and you guys may work together again, but I don't think he wants it to be a continued thing. If the 2 of you end up becoming an item, you guys won't be working together anymore. He doesn't want to date someone who he's working with, and I don't blame him. I say that to people all the time, like people who have crushes on people who they're working with. I'm like, do you really want to? I know you like them, but think about it. You work with them full time. I know this isn't full time, but even like part time, we need some separation from our partners. We need some alone time. We need some separation and compartmentalization in our relationships. And it's not that he doesn't think you're a good singer. It's that I think he sees the studio sessions possibly complicating things. And the fact that you said that you felt nervous in the studio and that resulted in you getting blacked out drunk, I think he's also wanting to protect you in that sense. Like, oh, well, if she feels nervous in my studio and working with me, then maybe our connection should stop going in that direction. Yeah, he's going to talk to the producer, and that's why I kept it business. He said he's going to try to work with me. Okay, I said I was overwhelmed. Okay. Honestly, if you guys were to date, I would actually think that would be wise. Occasional studio sessions together, fine, but I think regular work with someone who you're dating, even though it's not full time, just can add some complications. Sure, absolutely. You can donate again. Thank you so much, Scylla. Thank you, love. Please go ahead and post your next question. Is W and the producer going to work with me and down to as I show my best self next session? Okay, I think the way to ask that is if you guys have another session, because it hasn't been locked down, but if you guys have another session and you show your best self, which I have no doubt that you will this continue forward? Okay. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, if Scylla and W work together again and she is her best self, will W and the producer want to go for ancient masters and spirit guides? If Scylla and W work together again and she presents herself as her best self, will him and his producer want to work with her again? Ancient masters and spirit guides, if Scylla and W work together again and she is her best self, will W and his producer want to work with her again? Ancient masters and spirit guides, if Scylla and W work together again and she's at her best self, will him and his producer want to work with her again? Ancient masters and spirit guides, if Scylla and W work together again and she's her best self, will him and his producer want to work with her again? Ancient masters and spirit guides, if Scylla and W work together again and she's her best self, will him and his producer want to continue forward? Ancient masters and spirit guides, if Scylla and W work together again and she's her best self, will him and his producer want to continue? Ancient masters and spirit guides, if Scylla and W work together again and she is her best self, will him and his producer want to continue this working relationship? Ancient masters and spirit guides, if Scylla and W work together again and she presents her best self, will him and his producer want to continue working with her? Ancient masters and spirit guides, if Scylla and W work together again and she presents herself her best self, will him and his producer want to continue working in more studio sessions with her? I was basically saying, like, I don't know, you guys. Yeah, I was just overwhelmed. Totally. I hear you, love. I hear you. I get overwhelmed when I work with new photographers, new jobs. Yeah. We got the Fool, Page of Pentacles reversed, the Moon reversed again, Knight of Cups, and Justice. I don't think so, love. But I've got some really, really good news. Knight of Cups and the Fool. Girl, he wants to compartmentalize this relationship. He doesn't want to date. He wants to date you. I can't say that loudly enough. He has his eye on you. He wants to date you. He wants to, get, obviously, know you better before he initiates it. But even if you are your very best self, it will show him that, how do I phrase this? It's not that he doesn't think that you are talented and that he doesn't want to work with you. It's that he needs balance, hun. He needs work-life balance. And with this Justice card, he needs work-life balance. And it's less to do with his producer and almost entirely to do with him. Sorry. 1 sec. You don't think they'll work with me again? First, we finish this season. I want to work for all. I do feel we will work. I hear you, love. I hear you, but I'm also listening to my spirit guides and reading the cards here, and this is what I'm seeing. I do think you guys are going to work together again, and you're going to do a stellar job. And in that stellar job, it's not just the work that you're doing that's amazing. It's you being sober and you guys connecting and laughing together. And I feel like you guys are really going to connect in a serious way, in a much deeper way than, like, I feel like the next time you guys work together, which I think will happen, sadly, it might, I don't want to say it's going to be the very last, but I think that a big reason why, and I've said this before, a big reason why he hasn't been asking you out on dates to get to know you and has been bringing you into the workplace is because that's his comfort zone. I don't want to say he never saw potential in you. He never saw talent in you. That's not what I'm saying. But he saw a potential romantic partner in you. first, and then it was, well, maybe she has some creative talents as well, and then we could, and then I could work with her, and because I don't feel comfortable just taking girls out on dates. I don't think he does. And I'm sure you are a great artist. I have no doubt about that. That I'm telling you, that's not what's going on here. It's not the fact that you're not a great artist. It's the fact that he doesn't want work and romance to bleed together. He needs balance, honey. He needs balance. And when you show how wonderful you are towards him as a woman at this next session, he's going to want to move forward with you. Knight of Cups, the Knight in Shining Armor, the Fool, the very first card in the entire tarot deck, taking a journey, taking that first step. But look, girl, Page of Pentacles reversed. Energies can change, but we have the Page of Pentacles reversed and the Moon reversed. Clarity, again with the Moon reversed. He's getting to a point of, he's getting to deeper points of clarity with you, and he's liking what he sees. But I also think that I believe that he's the type who needs compartmentalization in his relationships. He could very well be the type of person who refuses to date someone who he works with. I won't make it flirty. I didn't at all during the call. Well, would you prefer to work with him or date him? Because it sounds like you've got a choice. It sounds like it's more of a choice here. It sounds like he wants both, but he will only entertain one. And I think he would rather date you than work with you. They still haven't seen how I locked in this season. Okay. I'd be okay with not dating this year. You'd prefer work. Interesting. Okay. So I think he likes you more than you like him a little bit. I could be wrong. You made it clear. Okay. Yeah. Oh, during the session. Okay. Not season. Okay. Yeah, so you made it clear with him that you really do want to work with him. If working with him meant that you wouldn't be able to date him, you would be okay with that? And you don't have to answer that question. It's more just a prompt question for you to reflect on and help you come to realization. I think we both like each other, but I want to look into music this year. Gotcha. Okay. That's a great answer. And that's your truth, whatever your truth is, you know? Absolutely, love, absolutely. I would put my feelings aside for the music. Okay. Thank you for letting me know, because that gives me a really clear understanding as to where or a clearer understanding as to where you're at here with this. Thank you so much, Scylla. Please go ahead and type your question. Thank you. And Yasua Cat, I don't know if you're here right now, but you will be next after this question. This is the fourth question for Scylla. So this will be the last question in her session. And then of course you can, Scylla, if you have more questions, you can donate again after Yasua. Are we able to shuffle? Yeah. But what's the question, hun? Did you already I'm not seeing it. Will the producer friend be down to work with me again after this session after I apologize to him. I want to in person before the session. Do you know his name? Can you give me his name? Or his initial, whatever you feel comfortable with. Because it's up to him mainly. Z, okay. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Z be down to work with Scylla after this session? Or wait, after the session or after you apologize to him? I'm not quite sure. Both? Okay. Well, do you plan on apologizing to him before the session or after? Sorry, I'm not trying to make this super complicated. I just need clarity. Not trying to tug your strings or anything. Yes, I plan to, but I'm waiting on what W says. Okay. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Z be down to work with Scylla again after the session and after she apologizes to him? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Z be down to work with Scylla again after the session and after she apologizes to him? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Z be down to work with Scylla again after the session and her apology? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Z be down to work with Scylla again after the session and her apology? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Z be down to work with Scylla again after her session and her apology? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Z be down to work with Scylla again after the session and her apology? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Z be down to work with Scylla again after the next session and her apology? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Z be down to work with Scylla again after the next session and her apology? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Z be down to work with Scylla again after the next session and her apology? Okay, babes. We have Queen of Cups reversed, 10 of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles, the Devil reversed, and 8 of Cups. Yes. I should have just said immediately yes. Yes. Z, yes, will want to work with you. 10 of Pentacles, ooh la la, money, 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 hey girl, hey. And fame too. In this, I'm not saying that you're immediately gonna get famous, but visibility, influence, success, work. 4 of Pentacles. Yes, he values you. He doesn't want to let go of working with you. However, do they work exclusively alone? Or sorry, do they work exclusively together, or does the producer work on his own as well? Because we have this Queen of Cups reversed, the Devil reversed, and the 8 of Cups. These are all reversed. Well, Queen of Cups reversed is a reverse romance. They are business partners. But do they work independently ever? Because that's kind of what I'm seeing. Is not kind of, but it's what I'm seeing. With the last reading, I was seeing that W wants to he wants to date you. He wants to date you more than he wants to work with you. It may not seem like it now, but that is the case. With his producer, there's no romantic inclinations there. With this Eight of Cups, Queen of Cups reversed, there's no romantic inclinations. And he's not bound to you in the way that, or he's not, I shouldn't say bound, but he's not connected to you in the way that you're connected to W. You and W have a connection, a personal connection, whereas you and the producer have, I'm sure you have one, but it's not as predominant. It's not as strong. So I'm wondering, and Eight of Cups is also like a solo card. So this is making me wonder if he's seeing this as like, okay, well, I know W wants to date Scylla, and if he is going to date her, he likely doesn't want to mix business with pleasure, wants a work-life balance. However, I see the potential that Scylla has. W sees it too, but he also just prioritizes his feelings for you, his attraction to you, his desire towards you. Whereas with you and Z, he could just work. He could work with you. You guys could work together, and there would be no emotions attached. And I know that's definitely a romanticized like notion, like working creatively with folks and it becoming a romantic connection. I have fallen in love with people I've worked with creatively. It happens, but then sometimes it needs to be compartmentalized. Sometimes I'm thinking about one person I worked with creatively. We started dating and we stopped working together creatively because it was just too much for both of us. But I was still working, you know. I'm just trying to keep it business, and I'm sure W will be down because he said he's going to fight for me. I think W will be there too. Okay. I really hope so. I really hope so, Scylla. That because that's the. I mean, it sounds like that's what you're looking to happen. You want both. You know, you want to work with him. You really want to work with W. But there is that attraction there as well. But these are all good energies. But the card said he wouldn't. The card said that at this time, if you were to do a studio session with him and be totally on your A game, yes, he would recognize your talent as he already has, but it would endear him in a deeper way towards you, desirously, romantically. It would, your good performance and your good work would trigger his romantic inclinations towards you more than his working inclinations. I hope that makes sense. But energies can change. You're absolutely right. But as it stands right now, if you guys were to do a studio session tomorrow or the day after or within the next week and you absolutely slayed, he would recognize your talent, but it would make him fall for you deeper to a point where and he knows that and I've seen it in the cards. He knows that he doesn't like dating folks who he's working with. Maybe he had an issue in the past. I'm not quite sure. But he likes to keep it separate. He likes that balance, that justice card. So it can change, but that is just what I'm seeing. Not take action. But the card said, what do you mean not take action? What do you mean by that, love? Yasua Cat, thank you so much for your donation. Please come to the chat. It is your turn. Thank you. Thank you so much, Scylla. We're on Yasua Cat right now. But she donated for a mini reading. Absolutely, you can donate again. Yeah, you know how it goes, girl. You know, absolutely. I meant to say, like, was that saying that was his actions, or was that saying that was his actions? Whose actions? Z's actions? We asked if Z would want to work with you again if you were on your A game, and the answer was yes. But the answer was also walking, like separating Eight of Cups, like separating someone else from the picture. Queen of Cups reversed. There's no emotional attachment there with Z. W's actions. He would want to not work with me, but could do it still. That's what the cards are saying. The cards are saying that your amazing performance, even if you're super like professional, not flirtatious, that would endear him even deeper, like much even deeper to you. And I feel like it would be the tipping point, or like the almost like the answer that he's looking for, the sign that he's looking for to validate, like, yes, this is the girl that I should ask out. This is the girl that I know I want to be with, but I think we'd be good together. And I think she likes, just because two people like each other doesn't mean that they're good for each other. That's what he's trying to assess, is that you guys would be a good partnership romantically or work-wise. And if it's both, he would prefer romance, at least at this time. But you could also say, hey, if you want to date me, I want to date you too. I really do. But I also really want to work with you too. You guys could also come to a compromise. That's also, if you guys start dating, that's what, that's what relationships are all about, is compromise. Yasua Cat, Miss April, please come to the chat. It is your turn, Yasua Cat. Thank you very, very much. April, please come to the chat. It is your turn. Thank you. I see, so it's not exactly he wouldn't work. Exactly, yeah, exactly. It's not that he wouldn't work, it's the priorities there. So I'm not seeing April here. So Scylla, if you're still here, you can make a donation and we can continue reading for you, no problem. I don't know if you're still here though, but if you are, you absolutely can. Of course, love, of course. Just got it. Thank you so much. Please go ahead and post your question. Thank you. So W will for sure work with me this year when I lock down music with this producer after I prove myself this session that I am truly professional, I need longevity, and made a mistake and said sorry on the call and damn near cried. Oh, so you're wondering if he will for sure work with you this year. Gotcha. You got it. Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, will W work with Scylla again this year after their conversation this morning? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, will W work with Scylla again this year for sure after everything? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, will W work with Scylla this year for sure after the conversation this morning? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, will W work with Scylla this year again for sure after their conversation? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, will W work with Scylla this year again for sure after their conversation? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, will W work with Scylla again for sure after their conversation? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, will W work with Scylla again for sure after the conversation this morning? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, will W work with Scylla this year again for sure after their conversation? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, will W work with Scylla this year again for sure after the conversation? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, will W work with Scylla this year again for sure after the conversation? Nine of Cups, Ten of Wands reversed, Eight of Pentacles upright, Four of Wands, and the Empress reversed. Yes, you absolutely will be working. And I thought I thought that I thought that you guys would have at least one more session this year. It's what you want. It's something that Nine of Cups is wish fulfillment. It's one of your desires. It's one of your wishes. It's one of your goals. One of your dreams. And you will be satisfied with the session and the opportunity to work together. Eight of Pentacles right here in the center. Steady. Eight of Pentacles is not just work, but it's steady paid work. You mentioned you guys are currently negotiating rates, and so I'm hoping this pays well. I'm assuming it does. But even if it doesn't, even if it's just like, moderate pay, it's still a really good opportunity, and is definitely opening a door. And then we have this beautiful Four of Wands, which is a harmonious union. Harmonious we can use literally in this sense because this is music that we're talking about. Harmony. Sorry, there's a hair on my freaking lip. This is very literal sense here, but also a metaphorical sense here. I still see him. I still see his feelings deepening for you the next time that you guys work together, longevity wise after this session. Yeah, that's the thing, love. That's the thing is, notice that we have this Empress reversed here. Now, I mentioned earlier that if you guys end up dating, which is what I feel he is going to want to initiate after this session, if you guys end up dating, there is the opportunity for compromise. The Empress is also a card of creativity, but I'm actually not seeing it in a creative sense here. I'm seeing this more as he said he does believe in you. It's saying after the second session too, right? Because that's what I meant. I wanted this whole year longevity. Well, that's what I'm getting to, love. Eight of Pentacles, 8. But you're going to be working at least 8 times here. This is more than one session. More than one session. But we have this Empress reversed card here. So there's opportunity for compromise. But that isn't a prompt. Just because, yes, there's an opportunity for compromise, but it doesn't mean that he's going to be willing to compromise. He can say, I either want you to be my girlfriend or I want to work with you, but I can't have you as both. I can't have you in my working life and as my romantic partner. That's something that I can't do. He might say that. Or he might say, we can work together minimally. Or he might say, I believe in you and and it's 7 and 1, as you said, 8, which equals, oh yeah, wow. He might say, yes, I really, really believe in you. You're very, very talented. You have a lot of potential. So I'm going to refer you to my producer, or I'm going to refer you to this other studio, because he does believe in you, and he does believe that you're talented. He really does. But I'm still seeing this separation, this desire for a separation of work and romance, which is difficult because it's how it started. I understand. You guys started working, you met him working on a music video, and then the second time you guys met was in his studio. So it's kind of created, not kind of, but it's definitely created some confusion, at least with me, so I'm sure with you, but because that would lead me to believe that he told me if I lock in, I could blow up. He might refer me after 8 sessions. I don't know. I don't know if it's after 8 sessions, and I don't know if it's specifically 8 sessions, girl. But it's multiple sessions, is what I'm saying. I can't tell you the precise number. That's not something that can even be predicted, because free will is at hand in the world. It's not a fated thing. But as the energies are right now, the potential is very good. But what I'm seeing is, yes, this desire to compartmentalize and separate love and romance with him. And of course that's caused confusion. I was like, what was I talking about? How you're confused. Yes, because he initiated this with work. And so it could be more than 8, it could be less than 8, hun. I don't know the specific number, but it's more than 1 is what I'm seeing here, okay? Now let me focus on what, please, love, we both have ADHD, so I'm going to close my eyes and talk to you, okay? So he started this connection. You guys met on a music video set. Then the next time you met was in the studio. So you were thinking, hey, this is a work relationship. Even though I'm attracted to him, I really, this is a work opportunity. This is a work opportunity for me, career opportunity for me, professional opportunity that could be delightfully mixed with a romance. And I mentioned earlier that there is that, it's in movies, it's in TV shows. There is a romanticized idea of engaging in creative projects and falling in love with the person who you're working with. I've done it. It's happened to me as a creative, and it's not bad. It's okay. However, there are some people who need to compartmentalize work and love, and he is one of them. Now, will he be willing to make a compromise? That I don't know. He could, but compromises take a lot of negotiation, communication, thought. I can't predict what his thoughts are going to be if you ask him for a compromise. Now with this Ten of Wands reversed here, I want some clarity, because Ten of Wands are an energy of desire and action and energy, but wands are also work. I would say wands is definitely a work. Burdens, difficulties, struggles, which work isn't always, especially not your type of work, but obligations. Okay, there we go. 10 of Wands reversed. Failure to share obligations with one's partner. He doesn't want to share. It's not that he doesn't want to share that world with you. It's that he can be a different person when he's working. We all can. He gets stressed out. He can get overwhelmed, and he doesn't want to get stressed out and overwhelmed with you. He doesn't want your guys' work life to bleed into your interpersonal connection if it deepens, which it looks like it is definitely on the track to deepening. I already see it and sense it deepening. So it's, we're all different human beings. Everybody has different desires and boundaries, and that just sounds like I keep on seeing it in the cards. It just looks like it's a big boundary for him that he maintains. He does not like to date the people, or when he's dating someone, he wants to keep work to a minimum with them, even though he knows that they're talented and believes in them and all of the above. He wants that balance, that work-life balance. Okay, thank you for letting me in again. Thank you. I'll do my best to compromise, but we're friends right now. Yeah, exactly. I know you guys aren't dating right now, but you do have a pretty deep. You have a strong interpersonal connection that you don't have with Z, for example. It feels like he could work with me this year. Thank you so much, Scylla, for your donation. What do you mean by that? It feels like he could work with you this year? Do you mean like he would only work with you for just this year as his compromise? I'm a little confused. Like, I feel he would still try and work with me because we're not dating, and I would set boundaries. But, and I hear you, I totally hear you, Scylla. But here's the thing that is a possibility, is he may say, Scylla, will you be my girlfriend? And how do I word this? How do I phrase this? A possibility is he could say, hey, I want to date you, but if I'm going to date you, I think we should put our work on hold, at least, or not work together, and you could work with someone else. He may have a boundary where he wouldn't feel comfortable working with you if he couldn't be with you romantically. That's a possibility. It's kind of like being friend zoned but work zoned. You know what I mean? Like, he might feel like that's feeling like if you said, I want to work with you and I'm setting boundaries. Well, I'm supposing you're suggesting, he hasn't asked you out yet, but if he does, if and when he does, he may have his not boundaries, but concessions with how he dates and how he feels comfortable with someone. And there's also a possibility that he might never take action and might never ask you out. So that's also a possibility too. But it looks very, very strong, looks very likely. I would just be like, no, let's compromise, or just no. It's a possibility just because it's his current feelings. It hasn't happened yet though, and I want to lock in the career. I hear you. You want to lock in the career. I get that, because that promises more longevity. Whereas when you first start dating someone, there's always that possibility that you don't know how long it'll last. So, I mean, same with career, but with career, I think there's more agency over like controlling its longevity. What are W's current TFI for me after our 1 hour call? I'm gonna manifest the work and love balance. Yeah, girl. Hey, Yasua, you are here. All right, love, you will be next. We are currently on Scylla still. I called your name earlier and you weren't here, so we continued on, but you will be next, love. Thank you. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are W's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Scylla? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are W's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Scylla? Angels, messengers, and after your phone call. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are W's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Scylla after their phone call? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are W's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Scylla after their phone call? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are W's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Scylla after their phone call? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are W's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Scylla after their phone call? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are W's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Scylla after their phone call? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are W's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Scylla after their phone call? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are W's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Scylla after their phone call? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are W's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Scylla after their phone call? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are W's thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Scylla after their phone call? Queen of Cups, Nine of Cups, Page of Pentacles, okay, Seven of Wands reversed, and Five of Swords. Huh. Okay, we'll start with your current energies. Queen of Cups here. You have feelings for him. We know this. You have desire for him. You have feelings for him, but cups are not just the realm of emotions. Cups are also the realm of creativity. So this is very apropos, I feel, for your current energies. You want both. You don't want just one. You want both. Yes, girl, these are his thoughts, feelings for me. We're starting with your current energies. This has nothing to do with him. Well, your current energies towards him. That's what we start with every time. So you correct me if I'm wrong here, but this checks out to me. You have emotional feelings towards him, but you also want to work with him creatively. Your cup is filled with desire, but also creative intentions. I think that checks out. Now his general energies, we have the Five of Swords, which is defeat, feeling defeated, feeling like you thought you had done the right thing, but it turned out that you didn't. And this to me is not about your connection in general. This we specified after the phone call. This to me is after the phone call energy. The fact that he heard that he almost made you cry. I told you he felt badly about that. He didn't want to bring you to an emotional place like that. But it did bring him clarity, which also makes him feel a little edgy with the swords, the edge of a sword. Like, did I trigger her? Did I, should I not have asked it that way? Did I ask it in the right? No. You did the right thing. No, he's worried that he didn't do the right thing with asking you, or with accusing you of demon. You were on demon time or demon energy. The way he worded it, he feels badly about. He's like, I thought that was the way that I should have worded it, but I should have approached it in a different way. It brought me clarity, but it also brought her nearly to tears. His thoughts towards you, we have the Nine of Cups. You are definitely, I've told you, wasn't this something that I said earlier? But I think it was you towards him. He's the cookie that you want to eat. You're the cookie that he wants to eat. You guys are mirroring each other in not identically, but in a lot of ways. Wish fulfillment. He thinks that you are a dream come true. He has wanted a girl like you. He's wanted to meet a girl like you for a while, and he's met girls that seemed like they were like you at first, but then they turned out to be different people when he finally got to know them. And that's why he's taking his time. That's why he's being cautious here. But he has come to a place of clarity after that phone call, and he's like, "Yep, she is that Nine of Cups. She's one of the dreams that I've had." His feelings towards you, you're gonna love this. We have the Page of Pentacles. He's not going to try to stop you from working. He's not going to try to convince you to stop working in the studio. He absolutely feels that you have so much potential, not just in the studio, but as a woman, straight up and down. You've got it going on. You really do. And his intentions, we have the Seven of Wands reversed. Now, one of the themes that we've been touching upon a lot with readings on him is how guarded he is, or at least cautious he is at this time in moving forward, and guarded, and we question why he's so guarded in love, this, that, and the other. So he will work with me. One of two things: either he will work with you, or he will refer you to someone who's very, very good. He won't refer you to someone who's a piece of crap. Trust me, he'll refer you to someone who he trusts, who is equally, if not more, talented. He believes. You said it, and I see it. He really fully believes in you. So I'm not. I want to promise. I want to tell you. Yeah, he wants to continue working with you. That is a possibility, but with the readings we did in the past, that kept on saying he sees your potential, but he wants to compartmentalize it. He wants to separate love and work. He wants work-life balance. This tells me that it could go in one of two ways. Either he works with you, or he refers you to someone who he knows that would be really, really good for you. Because, and that would only be if and when he asks you out. When you guys are, I know you guys aren't dating right now. I know that, I'm well aware of that. But if you were to tell him, I would, I want to work with you more than I want to date you, I can almost guarantee you he wouldn't work with you anymore. He doesn't want to be work zoned. Okay, so that will be a long time. No, because you didn't, because we still have this card, love. 7 of Wands reverse, letting one's guard down. Letting one's guard down. Being less defensive in one's guards. Letting it down. Opening up. Allowing oneself to become more vulnerable. So I never said it was going to take a long time. It may. And long is a relative word. Long to one person could be a month, long to another person could be 10 years. And I'm not saying it's going to take either of those times. I don't know how long it's going to take, but from what I'm getting here, the energies that I'm getting, I feel like he's going to offer you some type of romantic advance, either ask you out or ask you on a date or ask you, like, in some way. I feel like he is going to make a significant romantic advance towards you in the very near future. Because we're reading current energies right here. I don't know. I still see him working with me for some time, though, if I manifest and play my cards right. Absolutely. If this is just, tarot is just current energies. We have the power to change energies. We have free will. That's what this world is all about. So yeah, you keep on manifesting and focusing on that, playing your cards right, really thinking things through on how you would want to communicate that, thinking of all the different potential outcomes for how this can go. How would you respond if he asked you out? How would you respond if he didn't ask you out after a certain amount of time? Lots of things to consider. Him saying my demonic side made me cry. Is that valid or embarrassing, girl? That's not embarrassing at all. It's very valid. It's very valid. And I mentioned that earlier. That's the importance of talking on the phone, hearing someone's voice, talking on the phone with them, because you can hear the tone in their voice. You can hear their cadence. You can hear, the emotions rising in their throat. Through text, you can't. Not embarrassing at all. It was very valid. It came from a very valid place. It was genuine. No, it was not unprofessional. He provoked you. What was unprofessional, and I'm not judging you here, was getting drunk on the first session. But, and I'm not judging you at all or admonishing you. It's all good, girl. Do what you do, and that's something I likely would have done, like, back in the day. However, what he should have said, as opposed to saying you were acting like a demon, was that was a little unprofessional. That's how he should have, and that's that 5 of Swords, is he's like, damn, I should have worded it differently. I shouldn't have saying it like that. I brought her to tears. Yeah, it brought me to clarity, but I brought her to tears, and I didn't want to do that. So it wasn't unprofessional for you to cry. I think it was actually very professional, because it shows how genuine you are, and it brought him that clarity. And I think that there's nothing embarrassing about that. No. That was not professional, and do you feel like it should be forgiven and give another chance to prove we all can work together? 100%, yeah. You should totally get another chance. And I know I know you would serve, girl. How did it bring him clarity that I cried, girlie? I told you earlier, and I'm gonna just briefly say right now, Miss Yasua Cat, it is your turn, love. Thank you so much for your patience. Please go ahead and post your question, love. Scylla, how did it bring him to clarity? It brought him to clarity that you're a very genuine woman. You're a good effing woman. You're not pretending to be someone who you're not. You have emotions. You're sensitive. You're not stone cold. You have a conscience. You have an ego. That's human. So you think they're harsh on me? For sure. I was like, give me a break. It was my first time in the studio on the call. I do think that the way that yeah, I think they were being harsh in the way that they worded it, absolutely. And I do think that they will give you a break, and I think you deserve one too, absolutely. And you'll slay. You'll slay. I love you too, girl. You're so sweet. Yasua Cat April. April, please come to the chat. Yasua Cat, it is your turn. Thank you so much. Hi. Hi, here she is. And you are very welcome, girl. You are so welcome, Scylla. Thank you, love. All right, April, please go ahead and post your question right there in the chat. Thank you. All right, Miss April. April, what is your sign, love? And what is L's sign? Angels, messengers, you're a Sagittarius and he is a Leo. Okay. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will April hear from L this week after the fight they got into? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will April hear from L this week after the argument they got into? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will April hear from L this week after the argument they had? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will April hear from L this week after the argument they had? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will April hear from L this week after the argument they had? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will April hear from L this week after the argument they had? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will April hear from L this week after the argument they had? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will April hear from L this week after their argument? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will April hear from L this week after the argument? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will April hear from L this week after the argument? Or is he your boyfriend? Are you guys dating? Because if you are, I've got some good intel on Leo men, girl. I've dated more Leos than any other sign. And yes, I keep a list. Yes, I keep a list. Okay, honey, let's see. We have Four of Cups reversed, the Lovers reversed, King of Cups, the Hanged Man, and Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And I'm not just going to end it there. It's not how I read. We're going to go through every single card here. So I don't know. So I do know. You guys got into it. Did you say you got into it today? Okay. He's already missing you. He's upset. I don't, and you certainly don't have to tell me what you guys got into it over. That's perfectly fine. You do not need to tell me, unless you want to. But the Four of Cups in its reversed form is also a new understanding of connections, of relationships, of love. And with this Hanged Man here, whatever words you got into today, definitely had a strong effect on him. Changed his perspective. it changed his perspective. The Hanged Man is all about seeing things from a different perspective. Four of Cups reversed is seeing connections and love in a different perspective, in a different way. It opened his eyes to something, and at this time right now, yes, there is. You guys aren't broken up. You guys aren't officially separated by any means, but you are temporarily in separation, which is a result of disharmony. The the words that you got into earlier today. But and these feelings are more feelings of sadness than anger. They're more feelings of longing. Not getting anger here, just more longing. I have every reason to believe that he said things that he normally wouldn't say, and said things that he didn't mean, and maybe you even did too. We've all been there. When you get into an argument, I maybe not all of us have been there, but I know for sure I have said some mean things in arguments that I totally didn't mean at all, and I know that I've the other way around too. When I've been in, when we make up, it's like, by the way, when I said that to you, I never meant that. And I would never feel that way. I was lashing out because I was angry, or I was upset, or I was sad. And I think he's feeling regretful, guilty about that. However, I don't know this guy. I don't remember the last time I read for you, or if I've ever read for him before, but I sense that he's very emotionally mature. I don't know how old he is, and I told you I know a lot about Leo men, and they tend to mature a lot later than most of the other signs. I'd say Aries matures probably the slowest, then Leo. They I actually was talking about this last night. They often don't fully come into emotional maturity till their 40s. He was quiet since Sun went into Pisces. He's not mature at all. Okay. Well, I will say he does have some wisdom. He does have some wisdom to see that, because the King of Cups, first of all, he still has a cup of affection for you, very deep. But the King of Cups is my favorite court card. The King of Cups, his throne is on the ocean, but the King of Cups never topples over, never falls over. No matter how rocky it gets, he doesn't allow it to affect him to the point of acting out or lashing out. He's not holding a grudge here. He has every intention of reaching out to you with this Ace of Pentacles. He really, really values you. And furthermore, I also think that he wants a fresh beginning in a way. He's very calm. Yeah. And so that's that wisdom. He's very calm. He knows that the tide gets crazy, but it always returns to being placid. It's up and down constantly. So it's best to not act out or speak out when one is in an emotionally high tide. So he's likely not going to reach out to you tonight. Probably won't reach out to you tomorrow. But I can say with almost 100% certainty he will reach out to you within this week. He acts different now and been so sweet and open, but now this happened. So how long have you guys been dating for? Because he really values you, but this Ace is he wants a new beginning with you, and he definitely wants to communicate. Absolutely. And also, cups is not just love and emotions. Cups is also about communication. So at this time, he knows that if he were to speak to you like right now, it probably wouldn't result in the best words or end result. But he has every intention of, once his emotions have flatlined a bit more and he's processed more, which won't take too long, it won't take more than a week, then he will be in a position to communicate with you. Both of you guys will be in a better position to communicate again and resolve this situation over 10 years, but we were separated and he came back. Okay, so this has a lot of history. Okay. Well, what I'm seeing here is someone who definitely wants to stay with you, does not want to break up with you. Needs some space to process what was said between the two of you. Has every intention of speaking with you. Yeah. And in speaking with you, I also feel like you said that he's been acting differently. He was so sweet and open. Yeah, he definitely doesn't want to break up. No, especially the fact that you guys were together and got back together. Like you're a very important, extremely important person to him, if not the most important person in his life. But he didn't want to say anything when I was sad. Yeah, I don't know what he's going through right now. But you said that he's just not as open as he used to be. I do not believe this has anything to do with you or anything you said or did. I was sad about something other than our relationship. Okay. But and he just wasn't there. He wasn't open or supportive. Yeah, gotcha. He likely, sadly, and I'm not making excuses for him. He was likely just not in a position to have that emotional availability at that time. And I do see, with that Four of Cups reversed, I do see that he feels that that he shouldn't have behaved that way. That there that the Hangman and that Four of Cups reversed is a renewed, a different viewpoint in how one sees connections with others. Oh, he is very open and sweet now. Okay, good. Okay. So this looks good. This looks good, love. This looks good to me, April. Yeah, it's not coming to an end, and he will be reaching out to you within the next week, and it will be good communication. He wants a fresh start with you. That Ace of Pentacles reversed. He wants things to change in a positive way. Yeah. You're very welcome. You're very, yeah, I can imagine. I can only imagine it's been an emotional day for you. You're so welcome, love. Thank you, and much love and light to you. And we just received a donation from Yvette. Yvette, thank you for your donation, love. Please go ahead and post your question right there in the chat. Thank you. Yvette, please come to the chat, love. It is your turn. Thank you. There she is. How is Ed feeling about the connection at this time? No contact. Okay. And how long have the two of you been in no contact for? And I'm sorry, Yvette. What is your sign again, and what is his sign? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, how is Ed feeling? Oh, okay, like 3 weeks. And are you guys dating, or you guys are both Virgos? Okay. Were you guys dating, or what's the nature of the relationship? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, how is Ed feeling about his connection with Yvette at this time? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, how is Ed feeling about his connection with Yvette at this time? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, how is Ed feeling about his connection with Yvette at this time? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, how is Ed feeling about his connection with Yvette at this time? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, how is Ed feeling about his connection with Yvette at this time? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, how is Ed feeling about his connection with Yvette at this time? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, how is Ed feeling about his connection with Yvette at this time? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, how is Ed feeling about his connection with Yvette at this time? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, how is Ed feeling about his connection with Yvette at this time? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, how is Ed feeling about his connection with Yvette at this time? Kind of situational, honestly, I won't lie. Well, thank you for not lying. It's like lying to your doctor, because if you lie to me, then I can't help you. So there's no reason to lie. So it's situational. It's all good. It's all good. I just need to know the context here. So let's see. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Give me 1 second here. Okay. The moon. King of Wands reversed. King of Pentacles. The sun. The moon and the sun. And 9 of Wands. Moon and the sun. This is confusing. King of Wands reversed, but King of Pentacles upright. So I know you mentioned it's situational, but it's not over. It's not over. He's needing space right now for whatever reason. He's retreating to the shadows. He's needing time for himself for whatever reason. I don't want to say for whatever reason. I feel like it's to process thoughts towards the connection. I don't know how long this connection has been going on for. And you don't have to tell me if you don't want to, but there's usually a time, I usually say around like the 3-month point, where situations, I don't want to say they run their course, but it's very rare that 2 people in a situation are fine with just being in a situation forever. There's usually going to be at least one person who wants to figure out what this is all about, and where this is going, and that's what and specifically the action here with this King of Wands reverse. He doesn't know where to go. He doesn't know what to do from here when it comes to you. He doesn't know specifically what action to take. But he knows he needs to take some kind of action. He doesn't want to lose you in his life. He doesn't want you out of his life. With this King of Pentacles, he definitely values you, for sure. And there's a reason that you have been in his life. Again, I don't know how long you have been in his life for. But he keeps you in his life because he values you. You add something to his life and his well-being, his sense of self. The sun. I was like, why is the moon and the sun? Why are the moon and the sun here? They almost cancel each other. I often see them as canceling each other out when I see both, but in this case, no, they're not canceling each other out. He's retreating because as I told you, he's thinking through things. What's the next action to take? What's the next thing to say? Where do I go? Where do we go from here? He's searching for clarity. He's searching for the sun. He's searching for for truth, for clarity here. His truth, his clarity. He's just a jerk sometimes. Okay. In general, or to you, or both? Because this Nine of Wands is also telling me that he doesn't want you out of his life. He still has desire for you. He still values you. But he does have boundaries. Again, I don't know how long this situation has been going on for, but he's very guarded. Has arguably too many boundaries. I always say it's not just great to have boundaries in dating and love and in all aspects in life, but too much. There is definitely a level of too much guardedness, too many boundaries when it comes to love, because you have to allow yourself to be vulnerable in order to embrace love and have love in your life. And if you have all these wands around you, that's not going to give you the space to have. It's not going to give him the space to have that emotional vulnerability. Both. Okay, so he's a jerk to you and he's a jerk to others. Ugh. Girl, why do you like this guy? No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure there's aspects of him that are desirable. He's a chicken acting like I asked for the stars and the moon. Yeah. And I don't know what you asked him for, and again, you don't have to tell me. But I believe you. I have every reason to believe that you did not ask for the sun, the moon, and the stars. But because he either wasn't able to provide what you needed, or didn't want to provide what you needed, he retreated and deflected and put it on you and said, hey, you're asking for too much, when really you were asking for something that he, again, either didn't want to or wasn't able to provide for you. So it's not over. I don't see him wanting to end this. I'm not seeing any cards, any breakup cards, any ending cards. I do see him staying in your life, so long as you allow him to stay in your life. He'll be coming back. I know it's no contact for the past 3 weeks, but I have every reason to believe that he will be returning to you. Will he be a changed guy after this period of reflection? It doesn't sound like it, just from what you're telling me, but it's possible. It's possible. But with how guarded he is here, And just you telling me that he's a jerk, that just doesn't sound like someone who I feel is going to come back a new man, and not a new man, but like, yeah, a changed man, at least in some way, you know, or at least in a way that enables compromise between the two of you. Now, again, I don't know how long the situation has been going on for. You don't need to tell me, and I know you didn't ask my advice here, but I'm going to give it to you. I think the best course of action here, I have every reason to believe he's going to come back. But I think the best course of action here is when he does come back, you've been off and on for some years. Yeah, he's not consistent. And do you really want to be with someone who's not consistent? And if he's not consistent in a situation, how is he going to be consistent in an actual connection? You know, I would give this a time. I would give him not give him, but give yourself a time frame for waiting on him. I'm not saying you're waiting on him, but if you're not comfortable with just being friends with him, if the idea of being friends with him and him seeing other women hurts you, then I would put a timestamp on the situation. And what I mean by that is you can give it any time you want, 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, a year, 5 years, I don't care. But just give it a time, and if he hasn't changed or isn't showing any change or progress in that amount of time, I think the best course of action would be to walk away and show him what he's missing. Let him know that he missed out on this and wasted a lot of time. It's not even about not being comfortable with the friends part fully. We're supposed to take our time. What do you mean by you're supposed to take your time? Like as humans, we're supposed to take our time? Or you and him have a thing where you're taking your time? But he doesn't seem to want to grow up, is what it is. And you said it's been for some years. If you're saying by we, like we're supposed to take our time, like in love in general, I totally agree with you. Get to know someone, absolutely take your time in getting to know someone, but not too long. If it goes past a year, that's just much too long, in my opinion. But that's my opinion and my observations and what my therapist has told me. It's if you haven't seen action or much change or any change in a year, that's very different than dating someone and taking one's time. To me, taking one's time in dating is not rushing into being boyfriend and girlfriend as soon as you meet. That's a big one. I like to give it the 3-month rule. I think 3 months is the best amount of time to decide whether you want to start a romantic connection with someone, a serious romantic connection with someone, because you've evaluated them. You've had 3 months to vet them and spend time with them. We've both dated others. I've gotten slight changes out of him, but he likes to revert back. So you've dated others, but you've also, I feel like you know him well, Yvette. I feel like you know him well enough to know what he would be like if you were to date again. What I think is going on here, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is that you're holding on to the hope that he will change and grow. You said you've seen slight changes out of him, but then he likes to revert back. And I've heard people say, well, people don't change, and you can't change anyone, and you're not trying to change him. But there's only so much that changes within a person, you know. Over time, yeah, for sure. That's where majority of the change takes place. I'm a much different person than I was 5 years ago. The situation is complex. We share a friend group, very specific things. Gotcha. Yeah, there's more to it, more complexities and context. I hear you. Um, yeah, so maybe the time frame thing isn't the best advice if you guys are in the same circle and whatnot. Um, and you told me what I wanted to hear is that you have been dating. You've both dated others. I want to hear that you've dated others. Your heart is still open to other people. So long as your heart is still open to other people, here's my question. And you don't have to answer it. If you met a dude who checked all your boxes within the next month, and he asked you out, like not asked you to be his girlfriend, but will you go to coffee with me? He spends time with you. He's available. He's consistent. Um, would you still be thinking about Ed, or would you go for the new guy? And again, you don't have to answer that, but I think that's a good way of looking at it. And it sounds like you're already there, like you said. You've dated other people. So as long as your heart's still open, I think it's fine. You guys have obviously a close bond in other ways. If you're in the same friends group, in the same circle, same sphere of influence, then it doesn't complicate things, but there's just more attachments. But it sounds like your heart and your mind are in the right place. Your heart's open to other opportunities. You do see him for who he is. I don't think you haven't made any excuses for him or anything like that. I often hear people making so many excuses for people's bad behavior, and you're not doing that at all. Yeah, you would be, but I still have in the back of my mind. Yeah, and I think that's normal. I think that's totally normal. I'm right there with you. Um if I had affection for someone that we had a history with, and then there was a new gentleman in my life who swept me off my feet, yeah, I would totally go for that person. But of course, I'm right with you too. In the back of my mind, I wouldn't compare. I would do my best to not compare them to that person. That's where it gets dangerous, is comparing them to the other person. But still having affection or thoughts for someone in the back of your mind is okay. So long as you don't act on them once you're with someone new. But and those would likely dissipate. Not completely. I mean, we never completely lose affection for people. Sometimes we do, but I think you're in a good space, and regardless of Ed. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing for you, love. He's gonna come back. He'll be coming back, and I just hope that Hangman and wait, what did we have again? Oh no, we didn't have that was the last reading. Yeah, I just hope that he has a change of perspective here, you know, and some growth. But anyway, that is what I'm seeing for you, Miss Yvette. Thank you so much, love, for your donation. I really appreciate you, and I hope I brought you clarity, and I really hope that that things improve between you and him ultimately, and if they don't, better guys gonna come along. All right, so it is that time of night, y'all. I've been on for a little over 2.5 hours, so I'm gonna do it is last call for all donations. You're very welcome. You are very welcome, love. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad I brought you some clarity. Last call, everybody. Last call for all donations, and I shall have you know that I will not be on tomorrow night. Busy day tomorrow. So I will not be on tomorrow night. But as always, I offer private readings. I offer 2 different types of private readings, either over Zoom, just me and you, one-on-one, or at no additional donation amount. You just send your donation to me with your question, and I can answer your question, usually within 1 to 3 hours, sometimes shorter, but at the very longest, 24 hours. But I don't think I've ever taken 24 hours to read for someone's private reading, but that's the time frame. Last call, everybody. Last call tonight. Last call for all donations. If you've got a question you're going to want to ask tonight, because I won't be on tomorrow. Last call, everybody. Last call tonight for any and all donations. Thank you very much. Oh dear, it sounds like it's raining. Ugh. Hello, Scorpio AC. Absolutely, you can donate for a reading. I would love to read for you. I was just going to mention all my donation information can be found at the top of the chat, but I will post it for you. There you are. Thank you very much for your donation, Miss Anita. Were you interested in a 15-card reading, or did you have more than one question? 15 card reading. Okay, please go ahead and post your question. I will be just right back. Thank you. All right, and we are back. Please don't read my question out loud. Okay, so I will mute it. I will mute it for you because I have to encount when I'm reading. So I will be on mute while I'm shuffling. Okay, hun. And I need to know the Libra's name or their first initial. That I need to know. MJ, you got it. All right, let me turn this on mute. All right, love. We have the Magician, Six of Cups reversed, the Moon, Nine of Cups reversed, the World reversed, the Tower reversed. Sorry, these cards are hard to flip because they're so big. Temperance, the Devil reversed, Queen of Wands reversed, Six of Wands, Ten of Cups reversed, Two of Swords, Five of Pentacles, Five of Wands, and Knight of Pentacles. Okay. So Libra and Scorpio. Okay, love. I don't know how long you have known one another for. And I don't know if I've given you a reading before. I'm very, very, and I believe every tarot reader should be, and every human being should be this way. I'm very, very honest. If I were to just say what I felt you wanted to hear, I would be doing you a major disservice, and I likely would not be able to sleep at night. But what I'm seeing here is it's a possible possibility that with this Magician card, it is a possible possibility that he has the ability to make a move. He does have that ability, but it correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like there's been very little effort towards you, very, if any, with the Tower reversed, at least at this point. And it has put you in an emotional corner that's not satisfying, not content. It's not what you are ideally wanting to see from him. I don't know if the two of you are in communication right now with this with the Six of Cups reversed. If you are in communication, this is telling me, it's telling me a couple of things. The present, staying in the present moment right now is difficult because even if you are in communication, the communication is likely difficult, brief, not getting the answers that you want when you are communicating, and a lack of balance, one person putting more effort in than the other, and I'm getting, and it feels like it's you putting in more effort here. I could be wrong, and so he does with this Temperance card, he does value you. It's not that he doesn't like you or feels untoward towards you, but I do see that he's definitely taking his time, if his intentions are to make a move. And then with this Two of Swords right underneath, this is telling me that he's also, when it comes to moving forward, making an advance towards you, he's in the dark. He's totally in the dark here. He can't see. He doesn't know what to do or how to go about it, or if he even should pursue you at all. He's torn between these these options here. I just said that he was in the dark. We've got the moon here. When I say that he's in the dark as well, I'm saying that he's it's not that he doesn't take into consideration where, you know, moving things in a direction, moving things forward with you, but it's definitely not on the forefront of his mind. I don't know if it could be because he has other things going on that are taking precedence within his consciousness and his energies, or it could be something that he's avoiding because, again, he doesn't know how or if he should move forward. The devil reversed here in the centers, not a good sign here. I know we asked about, you know, forward movement, forward momentum, taking action, seeing if things will grow. But, and I don't know if you're aware of this, but at least the cards are saying that he is not wanting to be bound at this time to anyone. He's not in a position where he feels like being bound, to the point where he would prefer to be on his own at this time with this Five of Pentacles when it comes to emotions and romance and sharing that with someone. Then we have this Nine of Cups reversed, Queen of Wands reversed, and Five of Swords. This Nine of Cups reversed is telling me that he's definitely got a lot of inner work that he needs to work on. He's got a lot of things going on in his mind that he needs to work on. And I don't know how long you've known one another, but the Devil reversed, Nine of Cups reversed, Six of Cups reversed. These are all cards that are indicative of a lack of a deep connection. And that could just be the current energies at this time, but we did ask about future actions. And to me, this is saying that he's not in an emotionally mature enough position to entertain connections of romance, or at least connections that require deeper connectivity. This Queen of Wands reversed is telling me a couple of things too. He's very he's definitely lacking confidence. I don't know how familiar he is with dating and romance, but I was seeing that here too with this Devil reversed, Five of Pentacles, Two of Swords reversed, the Moon, not knowing how to move forward. And I'm thinking, as I was telling you that, I was thinking to myself, like, well, has he never like dated before, or like what's going on? And I don't know his dating history, but it could very well be very brief. I don't know if he's had a whole lot of relationships, and that could very well be why he's not knowing what to do and is scared to do anything, if at all. And this Five of Swords actually kind of answers the question I just had a moment ago, questioning why he feels insecure in relation to deeper connective relationships. I don't think that it's a matter of him not knowing what to do or not having experience. I think it's a matter of him having experience, but often failing, often messing up, often doing what he thought was the right thing and not getting the results that he wanted, feelings of defeat. However, he does not want you out of his life with this world reversed card. The chapter is, he doesn't want the chapter to close, at least not at this time. He definitely still wants you in his life, and despite his insecurities and his lack of self-belief, I still see him wanting to keep you in his life. And furthermore, I see him wanting this to result in some kind of victory here. Not a defeat. Literally, 5 of Swords is defeat, 6 of Wands is V for victory. He's gone through many defeats in romantic connections in the past, and he doesn't want to repeat that. So if he's taking things slowly, if this has been if the connection or friendship, whatever the connection you guys have is currently, if it's been going on for a long time and you haven't seen much action, that's this Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight out of all the knights. He's often just completely still. He'll actually just stop his horse to stop and think about, what's the best course of action here? What's the best type of work that I should put into this? What's the effort that I should put into this to make this work? So he wants you in his life, and he would like to see things work with you. But I also see a man who is just so, he's wounded, he's insecure, and his fears are holding him back. That's not to say that he will never show action towards you. That's not to say that he will never move forward towards you, take action, because he wants to. He does. It's just he doesn't know how. He wants you in his life. He likes you in his life. He doesn't want you out of it. But he's not really the one to take charge when he absolutely can. His self-doubts are all just projections within him. He actually absolutely could make a move towards you and do so successfully, and it wouldn't be difficult for him, but he's convinced that he's a loser in the romance department, that he never gets it right. So if it feels like this has been dragging on, like he's dragging his feet, it's not I'm not making excuses for him, but it's not something that he's intentionally trying to do. It's coming from a place of fear. He thinks it's a lack of know-how, a lack of knowledge, but really he does. I would say that he does know how to move forward and actually does know how to develop deeper connections. He has just there were so many cards and energies there of self-doubt and insecurity, but that's also not to say that he won't grow, and that's also not to say that you could possibly push this in the direction that you would like it to go. He might need you to take the helm because he doesn't want to. Which often, I know, can often make, especially women, feel, I don't want to say less feminine, but yeah, like I feel like a lot of hetero women, including myself, I want the gentleman to take that action, to make those plans, to to take the helm. So that's more what I'm getting, is he's just not the type of guy to take the helm, to take the wheel. But it's also not to say that if you were to give him the keys to the car, metaphorically in some way, either through conversation or actions or whatever, it likely would result in something good, in something promising here, and would likely surprise both of you, especially him, because he really doubts himself. You're so welcome. You're very welcome, Anita. Thank you so much, love. I appreciate you, and best of luck there. I wish the best for both of you. I hope this works out. All right, so I'm going to do another last call for donations tonight. If you have a question you would like me to answer, I am definitely still here for you. Just let me know either in the chat. The best way to do it is just to send your donation, because I have had, I can't tell you how many times I've done last call for donations, and then it's always 3 minutes that I give, and after the 3 minutes, if I have no questions, I sign off. I can't tell you how many times I've signed off, and then I've gotten like 3 donations right as I sign off. So, and that's not actually, that is likely not the client's fault. It is likely YouTube and the lag that sometimes happens in the live stream. But it is last call for donations. All donations tonight. Thank you very, very much. I will not be on tomorrow. I will remind y'all of that again. So if you won't be on tomorrow, but I am here now. Last call, everybody, for any and all donations. Thank you. Last call, everybody. Last call for all donations. Thank you. Last call, everybody. Last call for donations tonight. Thank you, bees. Last call tonight for any and all donations. Thank you. All right, looks like everyone is happy and taken care of and full of clarity. Thank you all so very much, and I will see you on Thursday. Oh, wait, I won't see you Thursday either. But, and I won't see you Friday, and I won't see you on the weekend. So I won't be on until Tuesday. Wow, okay. So I'll do my best to go on, but I likely won't be on. But remember, I always take donations at no additional amount, private readings. So if you have a question, reach out to me. Much love and light to you, and I will see you all sooner than